Hello, good evening, Kaushik, Sumant.
Good evening.
How are you? How are you, Saeed?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening.
रुक जाते हैं सब लोग जमा हो जाए। हाँ प्रदीप कैसा है?
सुपर्ब सर।
बढ़िया बढ़िया, ठीक है। चलो अल्टीमेटली तुम शुरू किया क्लास।
मेरा फर्स्ट क्लास है, मैं डेस्परेटली वेट कर रहा था।
एग्जैक्टली, बहुत बढ़िया। चलो आज कुछ अच्छा सिखाएंगे। प्रदीप आया है ना? ये प्रदीप पता है, प्रदीप इज कंटिन्यूअसली मतलब मुझको बोल रहा है कि सर क्लास शुरू करिए। वो एक्चुअली ही इज जॉइनिंग द जॉब जिम प्रोग्राम एंड मतलब परेशान कर दिया मेरे को। मैं बोला चलो तुम यहीं से शुरू करो, जो चल रहा है वहीं से शुरू करो। फर्स्ट जुलाई से हम शुरू करने जा रहे हैं जॉब जिम, तो है ना? और कैसा चल रहा है कामकाज प्रदीप?
सही चल रहा है सर। अभी हम 5S सर्टिफाई हो गए हैं ना, तो 5S के सारे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, उसके ऑडिट्स, 5S जूस सर्टिफाई होने के बाद सस्टेन और अभी जूसे, तो हम सब, मैं पूरा ऑडिटिंग और IMS और उन सब में ही लगा हुआ हूँ।
बहुत बढ़िया, अच्छा काम है। ISO करेगा तो सीखने को बहुत कुछ मिलेगा।
मतलब मैं जो हमारा जोनल लीडर है वो क्योंकि वो कंपनी एम्प्लॉय है इसलिए वो जोनल लीडर है, और मैं कोऑर्डिनेटर हूँ क्योंकि मैं अभी ट्रेनिंग पे हूँ। अदरवाइज मैं ही जोनल लीडर होता।
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया। चलो करो। क्या हो गया, और कोई नहीं आएगा क्या आज? सब कहाँ रह गए?
सर आई एम रियली सॉरी, मैंने आपको बहुत परेशान कर दिया है। एक्चुअली मैं क्लासेस शुरू करने के लिए बहुत डिस्परेट था। रियली सॉरी।
नहीं सर, कुछ नहीं।
मुझे पता है, मैंने आपको मतलब नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स कॉल किया होगा और आपने नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स मुझे रिप्लाई भी दिया, पर मतलब मेरे को जल्दी से जल्दी वो इंटरव्यू से पहले करना है। मैं बहुत डरा हुआ था उसके लिए, इसलिए।
कोई बात नहीं, हो जाएगा तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू, तुम्हारा बहुत अच्छा जाएगा।
सर ये वाली क्लासेस अल्टरनेट डेज ही होती हैं?
हाँ
मतलब इसका कुछ ऐसा
एग्जैक्टली क्या हुआ ना, मैं थोड़ा प्रेशराइज हूँ इसलिए क्योंकि कुछ और एक्स्ट्रा क्लासेस चल रहे हैं जो मेरे डोमेन से बाहर है। और डोमेन से बाहर का कुछ क्लास होता है ना, तो क्या होता है उसका कंटेंट्स तैयार करने में काफी मेहनत करना पड़ता है इस चीज का। तो मतलब कुछ एकेडमिक लेवल पे हमने शुरू किया था, ऑटो स्मार्ट क्लास बोल के एक नया विंग शुरू किया है रिसेंटली इस साल से। तो उसका जो कंटेंट के काम पे बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब मेहनत करना पड़ रहा है। जो आपका क्लास 9, 10, 11, 12 का जो स्मार्ट लेवल ऑफ ये होता है, कंटेंट्स होता है, वो सारा चीज़ डेवलप करना है। तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनत होता है, टाइम मिलता नहीं, काफ़ी ज़्यादा टाइम चला जाता है। एनीवेज, चलो हम शुरू करते हैं। And today we are going to cover this communication part. Okay, so जो मिस किए चलो रिकॉर्डिंग तो मिलेगा। आज हम लोग थोड़ा कम्युनिकेशन के बारे में थोड़ा एडवांस लेवल पे समझते हैं कि भाई कम्युनिकेशन का फर्स्ट लेक्चर तो सबको याद होगा, आई होप। Pradeep, don't worry if you do not understand anything or if you mess up with something. ठीक है, the same thing will be covered in detailed way, in a detailed manner once again when we will be starting your job. Okay, just now go with this. I'm just giving a recap of the previous lecture regarding communication protocols. That we have understood that what is communication. Communication is nothing but your exchange of information, maybe in between human to human or human to machine or even machine to machine, is not it? And we have seen that, okay, so, what is the communication means? It is nothing but you're sending and receiving the informations, sending and receiving the informations. And how can a machine communicate with the human? And we use some machines to communicate with machines, that I told you people that, okay, we use some kind of your keyboards, touchpads, etc. to communicate with other machines. And in industry, we are using your HMI, SCADA system to communicate with the machines. Likewise, our PLC is a machine. Our sensors, instruments, motors, etc. are machines, and we are communicating with them. That when we want a machine to start or its RPM to go high or low, we are talking with them. Is that ultimately we are talking with them? So to talk with them, what we are using HMI and SCADA. HMI is human machine interfacing, and SCADA is your supervisory control and data acquisition. Next level is that, okay, machine to machine, how machine can communicate with other machines. Likewise, your PLC is communicating with the devices, or when I am giving some command to my computer, this computer is talking to another machine. So we know that machine doesn't understand those languages, English, Hindi or Chinese. They understand only machine language. And what machine language means to us? Machine language is nothing but your zeros and ones, is not it? Now, my question was to you that how 0 and 1 can be understood by a machine, but not ABCD. It is because the machine language, which is binary, it is exactly not 0 and 1, but it is some kind of voltage level. Means either the voltage will go high or voltage will go low. It doesn't mean that it is only 0 or 1 or something. So normally a low voltage is considered as 0 or high voltage is considered as 1, or reverse also we can take, and based on that we talk that it is positive logic system or your negative logic system. Like if you can see here, if it is 0 to 1 volt you are considering or you are taking as high, and 3.5 volt to 5 volt you are considering as low, then it is called your negative logic system. And if the low is low and high is high, then it is called positive logic system. It doesn't much affect us with this concept though. Can any kind of machines communicate with any other? Definitely not, because if there is no certain communication rules or protocols, then machine will not be able to communicate with each other. So protocols means what? Protocols means your rules or procedures. And we have today we are going to understand this. We'll talk on these protocols, the industrial communication protocols. Okay. So these things are we have understood that, okay, what is effective communications and so. So for communication to take place, kindly everybody mute your mic. Okay. So for a communication to take place, there must be a transmitter that transmits the signal, and there must be a receiver that can receive the signal, and in between that the two there must be some kind of connections. There must be either it can be a wired or your wireless, but there must be some kind of connections, and those connections and everything what we are defining right now, that either we will be going to connect some wires, we will be defining some rules to flow the signal, the how the receiver will take the data. Those things make the protocols. Okay, so now if the language that the transmitter is sending or receiver is receiving, if it is not understood by each other, then there will not be communication. If the speed is not matching, the transmitter is transmitting very fast and receiver is not able to receive, then also it will not be a good communication, is not it? There will be loss of data. So, and regarding your data transmission, what we have seen that there will be either serial communication or your parallel communication. So which one is better? Definitely serial communication is far better, though parallel communication is much faster than your serial communication, because in case of your parallel communication, multiple bytes can be sent at the same instance, but in case of your serial communication, the bytes will be one after another. So if we see from timeline or point of view, then serial communication is a bit slower than your parallel communication. But which one is reliable? Definitely your serial communication is reliable, because there is no fear of losing data. One byte will be received by the receiver, then only the second byte will be transmitted. So where we use parallel transmissions, likewise in case of your monitor, you can see the data are coming and there are large number of data that need to be sent at a time. So in that particular case, we use the parallel transmission. And if you are receiving the data through your like your RS-232 or so, though these are your serial data communication. So data communication, we have understood that okay, parallel is better if we need much large quantity data to faster manner. Okay. So okay, these things I have just told you right now. It is been covered. That's why I am skipping it, because today's class is mainly on your industrial communication. Okay, just a recap. It was now regarding our industrial communication. We know that some terms like your Profibus, your Profinet, control net, device net, Modbus, and your ASI, etc. So what are these things, and what exactly what are the difference between these protocols? So today I'm going to cover in brief that your Profibus and Profinet. Okay, what is Profibus and what is Profinet? Both the things, both Profibus and Profinet are what they are your industrial communication protocol, and extensively used by your Siemens control system, but they are open protocols. So both Profibus and Profinet, though the name suggests it might be they are similar, but it is not so. They are completely different something. Profibus and Profinet are different protocols. Okay, so they use some different types of cables and connectors. They used completely different protocols. So this is what we can see the connector that we use.
Sir,
for
Profibus is the slave master protocol, no?
Yeah.
And Modbus is peer-to-peer, like this, centralized.
Modbus is also a master slave protocol. Profibus is also a master slave protocol. Okay. So I'm coming with the differences. Okay. So see here, in case of your Profibus, this is the connector that we use is your DB9 type, and the Profinet is nothing but your, it is RJ45, likewise your Ethernet. Okay. So okay, I'm going in details. So what I will be able to understand. So what Profibus was launched in your 1993, and Profibus stands for your process field bus communication. So if you see, look at your this PLC, then you can see some port, communication port like this purple color or this one. So this is basically what it is, just a D-type 9-pin D-type connector, is that it? So Profibus uses this type of connector. You can see here, these are the Profibus connectors. Okay, these are simple 9-pin D sub connectors, and we do not need to go in details that which pin means what, and so we are not here to design these things. But we need to have the knowledge that okay, which communication protocol we are using and what is what and where to use which protocol. Okay. Now see, if your PLC is having this type of connector, after today you will be able to recognize that okay, this is simple, it is here your Profibus communication cable, and Profibus communication cable is exactly your purple in color. Okay, from color itself you can identify that it is a Profibus. It is purple in color, you can see here. This is a Profibus cable, and these are the Profibus connectors. So Profibus connector is simple DB9 serial connector, and I told you people these are the serial communications. Okay, you don't get confused that okay, might be there are 9 pins, so it will be your parallel communication. It is your serial communication, so serial connector. And the green one, this RJ45 connector, this is your Profinet connector. Okay, so now you see Profibus cables are purple colored outer jacket. You can see here. And Profibus stands for your process field bus that I have told you. These are the connectors. You can connect it here. You see this. Now, when you connect the cable, you will be seeing there will be a red switch behind this D connector. Okay, this switch is very important because if when you are connecting multiple PLCs or multiple device with your Profibus, okay. Suppose this is a PLC, say S7400, this is S7300, this is something else, and we can connect this through this Profibus cable. So up to 127 devices can be connected. Okay, so in your Profibus, 127 PLC or devices can be connected, and each device will be assigned with a unique address. You need to assign some unique address, and this address may be set through software like your Step 7 or TIA portal, or using some deep source switch, means a hard switch. There will be some hard switch in your here in your PLC, and you can select those switches, and you can set the address for each device. So each device will have a unique address. Okay, and regarding the switches that on a red switch that will be there in your Profibus connector. So you must remember that okay, the switch must be on for the first and for the terminating PLC. Means if there are suppose there are 5 PLCs or 10 PLCs, then you have to switch on the first one and the last one, and all the rest in between should be off. Okay, so otherwise if you suppose somebody put this switch on in between ET200S, then this PLC will not be identified. This PLC will be taken as the terminating one, and there will be a bus port. This is called your bus port will occur if the switches in the daisy chain are not properly set. So how to set these switches properly? Simply you should switch on the first one and the last one, and in between all the PLCs the switches should be in off position. Okay, so regarding this Profibus, we know that okay, the speed is 9600 Bps, or you can say baud rate. Okay, 9600, and mostly in your Modbus also you will be seeing this same 9600 Modbus, and so and the operating speed can go up to your 12 Mbps. Okay, so operating speed is very high, and cables you can connect up to 1 kilometer, means 1,000 meters distance. But the much larger the distance, your data rate will go down. Okay, data flow will go down. Now there are two types of
Sir, this switch is a physical switch or logical switch?
yeah, it is a physical switch.
Physical.
This see, yeah, this is the connector, Profibus connector. These are the Profibus connector, that, and each and every connector will be coming with this type of switch. Okay, there are another things that I can say that suppose this is one type of connector, is not it? Now you suppose you want to connect this PLC with this one. So what you have to do, you cannot connect this connector directly, is not it? So the Profibus connector comes with extra means female connector on the back. If you want to connect this means, in series, then you have to select this type of connector. Means one cable will be connected to the PLC, and there is a female, so you can add on another connector over this. Okay, so that is how it becomes your serial. Next. So Profibus, there are exactly two variants. One is your Profibus DP and another one is your Profibus PA. DP means your decentralized peripheral and AP means your process automation. So Profibus decentralized peripheral and Profibus process automation. So let's see what these two mean. Suppose now we come to the real picture. Suppose you are using a PLC and you are having limited number of IOs. Say you are controlling some machines. Then there is no extra need, there is no problem. You can go with your compact PLC and you can connect this small number of IOs with the PLC directly. Is that it? So in that part we are very clear with this thing till now. I think that each and every instrument will be connected through some wires with the PLC, and according to them, like it will be your DIDO or AIO, and there will be, if it is compact, then the CPU and your IO modules and everything will be within a single housing. But what if means we are going to control some large number of IOs, and if it is a vast field area, then we have to go for say modular PLC, or you have to go for some rack type PLCs, etc. And you are controlling all those. And think that if the field area is vast, then what will happen? You have to means cable laying. It will be another level of difficulty, is not it? Because number of cables will be coming. Each and every instrument will be having two cables, and all the cables will be you are laying through these trays and all. So to give a solution, some kind of solution of this, what we can the Profibus do, we simply bring the IOs to remote. Okay, the CPU is in the control room right now, and suppose it is my factory floor or it is my field area, or so there are different field areas, and it is a big house. Then what we can do, we can use Profibus NAT, and we can place some additional remote IOs, such that all the field equipments will be connected to the nearest IO modules. Okay. So now what we have done, we have bring the IOs to the field, and CPU remain in the control room. Now all the instruments will be connected one by one in the IOs as we connect with our PLC. Similarly, now what we need an additional module, one additional module, which is we call it is your interfacing module. one interfacing module will be introduced to communicate, to collect all those data from the field and to supply to the CPU. So this is your interfacing module, and this is your RS485 cable. That is nothing but your Profibus DP cable, and we are transferring all the data from the field to the CPU through this. Okay. So you can see here we are able to means minimize the wire cost at least by decentralizing the peripherals. This is called your decentralizing the peripherals. Means if in previous case what we did in previous case, we have to connect all the instruments to the PLC. Means all the instruments cable will be laying out up to your control room. So number of cables will be much more. But if we bring these IOs to the field, so that the number of cables will be lesser, and we have to lay out only this prefab cable, or you can say your Profibus cable, RS485 cable, and connecting this D type of connector, we can easily transfer all the data from the field to the CPU. And for that purpose, we need some interfacing module. This is what the main purpose of your Profibus DP, decentralized peripherals. Now, after this Profibus DP has been introduced, people start facing, like, suppose if it is transferring all the data through a single cable, and sometimes if this cable goes down or something happens with this interfacing module, then all the plant will get shut down or so. So to overcome that, there are two ways. One is called your hybrid PLC or hybrid type. Means what? All the critical data, what we can do, all the critical data will be sent directly to the control room, and those who are not much critical, all the data will be connected to the remote IOs and then transferred through your Profibus cable. Other option is that we can use some redundancy, and some redundant interfacing module will be there, and we already know what redundancy means, is that it? So there will be two interfacing module and two cables will be running, so that if one cable goes down or one interfacing module have any problem, then other will come into the picture and our process will not be hampered. Okay. Are you people getting my points? I hope it's very easy right now to understand. Is that it? Any problem, anybody?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
So this is what Profibus DP is giving us the facilities. Likewise, first of all, what
It means interfacing module is transferring the data from the IO, DIOR, DOR, AI or AO data from this one and this one to the CPU, just transferring the data.
yes, exactly.
This is using for that only, interfacing modules.
Exactly. See, what happens when we see a PLC, we might be controlling, say, about 50 or 100 IOs. So might be some of you have not seen that much of large PLC or something. But the main problem is what? PLC means if it is a compact PLC, we are handling small number of data, then there is no problem, not an issue. But when you are handling large number of data, and suppose you are handling, say, 2000 or 5000 IOs. Now, if you are handling, say, 2000 IOs, can you imagine that, okay, for 2000 IOs means your 4000 of cables, 4000 cables you are going to lay out. So the cable cost will go high. So this means design engineers then start working on these communication protocols and how to interface these things, is not it? So they have come out with the solutions like Modbus or your Profibus, etc., the bus system. So we are talking on your Profibus, and Profibus what we have learned that, okay, there are two types of Profibus communication. One is called your Profibus DP, decentralized peripheral. Another one is your Profibus process automation, PA. Now, why it was required? Because to minimize the cost or minimize the amount of wires required to send the data. So how we can minimize the wire, number of wires? To minimize the number of wires, Profibus came out with an idea that, okay, use the prefab cable, use the RS485 cable, and we will be transferring this all the IO modules to the field, and we will be adding additional interfacing modules that will convert all the data that is collecting by the IOs into digital format, and then simply digital transfer will be there. It will be having some additional benefit, likewise interference by the high voltage lines also, because when digital transfer will be there, there are less interference things will be happening, isn't it? So additional benefits are also there. Now, once again, I am repeating the same thing that, okay, suppose this is my control room and I am controlling a few number of instruments, then it doesn't matter whether you are using your remote IOs or not, because you can lay out the cables from field to the control room. But if you are handling large number of IOs and your field area is vast, suppose your field area is 500 meter, 1 kilometer range, and there are number of IOs are there. So it is better to decentralize it and bring the IO modules to the field near to the devices, and connect all the nearer devices to the nearest IO modules, and then use another interfacing module which will be connecting your RS485 and communicating all the data through serial communication. Okay, so this is one thing, but the problem is that based on a single wire, if anything goes wrong, then the whole plant will be suffering. So this is definitely no doubt. Now one cable is going from here to here, so this decreases the amount of wiring required by this system, is not it? Decentralizing the IO modules. Now, to overcome this, the problem that if one cable goes down, then everything goes down. So what we can do, we can select the option that, okay, some modules will be there, IO modules will be there in my control room, and some critical data will be directly transferred to the control room, and all the rest will be in the field through prefab cable. It will be possible. This type of architecture is called your hybrid architecture. Okay, hybrid architecture. Next one is your redundancy architecture. That means we are using two interfacing modules for each remote IOs, and we are using two prefab cables to transfer the data, so that if one interfacing module goes down, then other will come automatically into the picture.
Sir, the RS485, yeah, 485, that is what the wire is known as the interfacing module.
Yes, RSC. The cables are RS232, 485, Cat5, Cat6, Cat7. These are the cables. Okay. Now Profibus is using RS485. Okay, there is difference between your RS485, RS232. It is based on the pin configuration. Now your RS485, 232, etc., and your Ethernet cables or your Cat5 cables, these are completely different cables. Okay, I'm coming to that also. So suppose this is my RS485 cable that is used by your Profibus, isn't it? Now, what is your Profibus PA? So we come, suppose this is all about your Profibus DP. Now, what people go on researching, and they are trying to minimize the cost itself and increase the efficiency. And so what they do, that without removing those IOs from the field itself, they are using a simple Profibus PA bus. This is a simple PA bus. Okay, so they are removing what? They are removing the IO modules from the field now, and they are just connecting everything with a simple Profibus, Profibus PA bus, you can say. So this PA bus is collecting all the data right now, and we have removed all the IO modules from the field, and to communicate with, we are using a segment coupler right now, because the Profibus PA is not accessible or not understood by the PLCs. PLC is not having any port to connect the Profibus PA communication port. Okay, so we need some segment coupler for this conversion, and what we do, we use this Profibus DP to communicate in between your CPU to your segment coupler, and this segment coupler is collecting all the data from the field, and thus it is happening. So since PLC does not have your Profibus PA connector, thus before segment coupler it is your Profibus DP, and after segment coupler it is your Profibus PA. So Profibus DP and PA are coming simultaneously. Now you can use Profibus PA, or you can use the other type, like you can use those remote IOs and connect everything. Okay, so it is up to your choice, or the process need, you can say. Okay, so right now I hope it is clear what is Profibus, why it was required, what is Profibus TP, what is Profibus PA. Is that it? Anybody has any doubt?
सर Profibus PA में अपना कोई एनालॉग इनपुट दे सकते हैं क्या?
हाँ, दे सकते हैं
सर। इसका कुछ ऐसा कुछ पिक्चर मिल सकता है वैसा? समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कैसे काम करता है ये।
This is a simple bus actually. ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूंगा, अगर Profibus मतलब मेरे पास नहीं है अभी PA का कोई फोटोज, अगर मिल जाता है then I will share with you people. Okay. So,
सर इसमें कोई मॉड्यूल्स नहीं रहेगा, डायरेक्टली बस से डायरेक्ट
जी हाँ, ये डायरेक्टली क्या किया, डायरेक्टली बस कम्युनिकेशन होता है, और बस पे ही कनेक्ट कर सकते हो आप डायरेक्ट। सारा जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स है वो सब उसी बस में कनेक्ट हो जाएगा, और बस से सेगमेंट कपलर में जाएगा। एक मॉड्यूल रहेगा जिसको सेगमेंट कपलर बोल रहे हैं, जिसमें आपका फिर से वो कन्वर्शन हो जाएगा और फिर वो डाटा चला जाएगा। जैसे यहाँ पे इंटरफेसिंग मॉड्यूल बोल रहे थे, यहाँ पे सेगमेंट कपलर बोल रहे हैं, नथिंग एल्स।
सर ये बस जो चीज है, जैसे Profibus PA बस है, ये कोई ऐसा डिवाइस जैसा ही लगा होगा ना, मतलब लाइक, या फिर?
डेफिनेटली वो पूरा का पूरा आपका वहाँ पे कनेक्टर्स रहेंगे, जिसके साथ आप टर्मिनेशंस रहेंगे, कनेक्ट कर सकोगे।
हाँ, मतलब लाइक एक ऐसा डिवाइस होगा जिसके अंदर हम लोग सारे हमारे फील्ड के आईओस हम कनेक्ट करते हैं।
Yes.
और वो एक सिंगल ही होगा जिसके अंदर मल्टीपल आईओस कनेक्ट करते हैं।
Yes,
लाइक वो जैसे जेबी में आता है, वहां से फिर एक सिंगल जाता है ना मल्टी कोर, वैसा टाइप कुछ।
Exactly. So आज तक जो confusion था, the confusion that we had, that okay, what is Profibus DP might be something different, Profibus PA is something different. It is not like that. Profibus DP is and Profibus PA is some advanced version, you can say, to remove the additional cost of those hardware modules or installation cost or so. So they are removing the modules from the field, and they are giving us a simple solution that okay, you do this bus and you can connect all your IOs with this bus. Okay, so what we need to remember that okay, if I am using a Profibus communication, then I need your RS485 connector, RS485 cable, and Profibus is your DP is or the cables are your purple color. So you can go in anywhere, any field, and you can see okay, the purple color cable is going. Now you can easily recognize okay, this is your Profibus connector, and if something happens even in this connector, you can go and search, go through Google and find the pin configurations. Okay, which pin is for what, and which where is connected to which pin. You can make it by your own, isn't it? So this is what. Now we come to our Profinet. Now Profibus and DP and Profibus PA is same. It is okay. But Profinet is completely different. Profibus and Profinet are not same at all, because Profinet is use your RJ45 Ethernet chip. Okay, so this is the port where our Profinet is connected, and Profinet is your green colored outer jacket. Okay, so you can see now this is your Profinet communication connector. And even your standard Ethernet cable can be used, but the Profinet cable and Ethernet cable is means the cable that we use for normal Ethernet communication. This is not shielded one, is not it? So Profinet cable that comes from your Siemens or so, this is this comes with your external shield, internal shield, and which is I think very much required for your industrial hazard area. So otherwise you can simply you can use the simple Cat5 cable or Ethernet cable itself. So this is nothing but your RJ45 jack that we use, and speed is your 100 Mbps, and you can connect up to 100 meters length cable through this Profinet. Okay, and it is a very high speed thing, so definitely it is ideal for your high speed application. And the Ethernet switch can be connected for your expansion, because since it is simple Ethernet, so any kind of Ethernet switch will be suitable to connect multiple number of, suppose there are 3 PLCs, so and if they are all the threes are having the facility of Profinet, then you can simply connect all the PLCs with this switch through this Ethernet cables. Okay, so this is what. And regarding the addressing, because suppose you are connecting 3 or 5 number of PLCs or so through this Profinet, so the addressing will be having 3 types addressing. Likewise, your IP address will be required, your MAC address will be required, and device name is there. Now see, one thing we are familiar with that, okay, IP address and MAC address is there in any kind of Ethernet connection. Now, what is unique is that, okay, we have to give each and every device a unique name. Okay. So all Ethernet devices use your IP address and MAC address, but device name is unique with your Profinet, and we need to assign this IP address and device name for each and every individual PLCs. Okay. So this was all about your Profibus and Profinet. If anybody has, okay, Sumant, yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you give a detailed explanation about how IP addressing is done?
Pardon?
Sir, can you elaborate how IP addressing is done?
IP addressing. Okay, see, IP address, let me show you here. So this is what, okay.
Are you gonna show us your IP address?
This is your IP address, okay. Likewise, I have this 192.168.29.100. Okay. So whenever you will be setting this IP address should be all the first three 192, 168, 1 or 29 or something. This three will be same. Only this number will be changing. Last one. Rest, the subnet mask and all other things remain same. You need not to do it. You need not to change or do anything with this. And in general, when today's smart devices, in general, when you connect, all takes it by default. Okay, they will set by default. Simply, if you are going to set it, then go to the properties, and go for your internet protocol TCP/IP. Go to the properties, and here obtain an IP address automatically. So this IP address has been automatically assigned. If you want that, no, you will be connecting some number of devices and you want to communicate with suppose 3 or 5 PLCs or PCs, then you can set this IP address by your own. Click here, use the following IP address, and you can set your whatever IP address you want. Suppose this computer was having an IP address of 192.168.192, then 168 and 29, then it was something 100. Isn't it? So I can set it by manually. I can set the subnet mask, or subnet mask is exactly automatically taken. The gateway is not required for all the devices. Gateway means internet connectivity also. So rest things are you do not require exactly. What we need to communicate internally, it is your IP address. So we have to change here. If this number is same for two devices which are under a same switch, then there will be some IP conflict. The message will be coming, there is an IP conflict, because this is the actual address through which all the devices are communicating, or one people is understanding with another. Suppose it is similar like you are giving your home address. Now you are residing in a say housing, and there are suppose 10 families are there. So you have to specify the room number or your flat number, then your house number, then your locality. So it is like that, the flat number or your house number. Then this is your housing address something. Then subnet mask it is something different. And frankly speaking, the communication protocol, it is such a vast thing. There are so many types of protocols, so many things, and it is mainly what happens. This particular things is belong to your computer science department, is not it? So somehow we got a bit confused, or sometimes we think that okay, what is what, and not going through all things, because communication itself is a vast syllabus, There are so many different types of protocols are there. So many things are there. Okay. So what I will be rather saying that as a layman engineer, what I know that you set this IP address. I want to connect another computer with this computer. So I set this particular IP address here. I write it down. If I set it 100, then the next computer I will be setting the IP address as 192.168.29 and 101. Now these two will be starting communicating. Okay, if they are under the same device. Otherwise, best option is okay. First you go and go for the default option. That's set in default. There are so many things you can share, and all those things are cannot be covered in this particular short time. Okay. This is completely a different chapter.
सर बेसिकली बोल सकते हैं कि प्रोफीनेट जो है जैसे पहले यूज होता था, हम लोग प्रोफी बस में यूज किए बस, तो हम लोग क्या इसमें क्या यूज करेंगे, सेंट्रलाइज एक स्विच यूज करेंगे, जिसकी वजह से वो स्विच के थ्रू जो है ऑल डिवाइस को कनेक्टेड करके फिर उसको ट्रांसफर करेंगे, फिर वो उसको ट्रांसफर करके पीएलसी के थ्रू पीएलसी में डेटा ट्रांसफर करेंगे. ऐसा बोल सकते हैं प्रोफीनेट से.
बराबर. Means suppose this is my if suppose here is another PLC, and this is also it is also having all the devices must be having this Profinet facility, is not it? So if this PLC is also having Profinet protocols or Profinet means connected, this is also having Profinet communication. It is also having your Profibus. This is having Profinet as well as Profibus, and another PLC is there, say PLC 3, and it is having only Profibus communication, because you do not have Profinet, then you cannot connect this through Profinet, is not it? That is for sure. Now to communicate between this and this PLC, what you have to do, you can use an Ethernet switch. So you can simply use the Ethernet switch. You connect this Ethernet through some Ethernet cable or your Profinet cable. Connect this one with this switch and set IP addresses for both of them. For this as well, set the IP addresses, and they will start communicating with this through this CPU, through this switch. Okay. So now I hope this part is clear. Once again, I just go for a quick recap what we have understood. We have understood that Profibus and Profinet. Now you people are very much familiar with the two terms Profibus and Profinet, and both are different protocols. Now we are very clear that okay, Profibus is not compatible with Profinet. Suppose if somebody is saying that okay, I am having a PLC with Profibus, I am having a PLC with Profinet, can you communicate in between these two? No, it is not possible. Profibus communication will not be compatible with your Profinet. Both the device either must have Profibus or both the device must have Profinet. Then only they can communicate. Okay, good. Next, we have seen that okay, so Profibus and Profinet are different protocols, and Profibus is using this DB9 connector, serial connector, and there will be 9 pin, and one is your male, another one is female. So the PLC is having if the PLC is having this female connector, then the cable must have the male pin connector, is not it? So you can select or you can purchase these connectors from the store, and you can connect. Now if you go inside this Profibus cable, then you will be finding that okay, there are 2 strands, one is green, another one is red, and there are some shielding, etc. So you can use some kind of cutter or so to cut and connect with these connectors. If you open this connector, I am not having any Profibus connector, I think. Just check. No, right now I am not having. Right now I am not having a Profibus connector here. Otherwise, I would have shown you. So this is a simple DB9 serial connector, and if you open this connector, you will be seeing that there will be some 2 port, and just insert the cable and tight it with the screw, and it is connected. Next, you connect it with your female PLC connector, and it is ready to use. Okay, there is nothing as such.
Sir, is it possible if if I do have 2 PLCs, one is having a male connector, another is having a female connector, like
doesn't matter. If your PLC is having your female, then you use the male connector. What does matter?
So the question is, if there are 2 PLCs, one is having the port in the PLCs, one is having a female port, and another PLC which is having a male port. If we want to connect these two, so for the female side, I'll connect the male one, but how can I connect the another? What it say, the female side?
There are lots of extendable and converters. There are lots of things are there. Whatever you require, you just go and Google it. You will get everything there.
Okay.
Everything are available. Means today means you will not be even imagine that okay, will it be possible to find this particular pin? There are lots of things are there. Just you need to find it out. Okay.
Sir,
So Yeah.
सर ये मैं जो कंपनी में था पहले, उसमें क्या सर स्विच ऐसे ही प्रोफिनेट से कनेक्टेड था क्या? वो जो है जो भी मॉड्यूल्स था वो कनेक्टेड थ्रू स्विच था, और स्विच से फिर दूसरा स्विच में वो और भी कनेक्टेड था, फिर उसके बाद वो पीएलसी से ऐसे कनेक्टेड था। तो ये ऐसा ही आर्किटेक्चर क्या प्रोफिनेट्स में रहता है क्या?
हाँ, अभी मैं समझा ही नहीं क्या बोला।
देखिए जैसे जैसे हम लोग का एक बिल्डिंग्स थी, ठीक है, तो पीएलसी जो है डाउन फ्लोर में था, तो जो ज्यादा जितने भी डिवाइसेस है सब ऊपर में लगे बिल्डिंग्स के, वो सारे डिवाइसेस जो है, माने 3 स्विचेस था, बिल्डिंग बहुत बड़ा बिल्डिंग था, तो वो माने जितने भी डिवाइसेस है वो पीएलसी में से कनेक्टेड थे, वो पीएलसी से फिर स्विच से कनेक्टेड था, फिर स्विच फिर दूसरा स्विच से कनेक्टेड होके फिर दूसरा पीएलसी से कनेक्टेड था, ऐसा कुछ आर्किटेक्चर था।
एग्जैक्टली। अभी देखो यहाँ पे मैं क्या दिखा रहा हूँ, व्हाट यू कैन सी हियर, there are different types of cables, is not it? All the cables are, but all the cables are DB9 type. Okay. Likewise, if you see this one, so it is having this side. It is also having a male connector. This side might be it is having a female connector. Okay. Now there are two. One is in, one is out. Okay. So one prefab cable will be coming in, and another one will be out. Okay. So now you can connect it with another. Now, when we are connecting these connectors with the PLC, this particular connector has been connected with this one, this port. Okay, this connector has been connected with this port. Now you want to connect another PLC. So the second connector will be connected to this one. It will be connected to this port, and then you can connect it. Likewise, I have shown somewhere. Likewise, this. To this port, another cable has been connected. One cable is connected to directly to the PLC, and this is another extended female part which is on the back of the connector, and I am connecting one additional connector to this female part. Okay, that is how these two are connected. This PLC is connected with this. This PLC is connected with this. So these things, once you understood this, when you are finding this hardware in your hand, you can connect it somehow. What I believe that okay, there are ports. Okay, you connect it and then check. Simple, is that it? So now you are clear about your Profibus DP and Profibus PA. What was that? Profibus DP was introduced to decentralize the peripherals. Is that it? Profibus DP was introduced to decentralize the peripherals. Peripherals means what? IOs, and we bring all the IO modules to the field, and we have connected with RS485. And to overcome the fault conditions, we can go for your hybrid type or your redundancy type. Then Profibus PA introduced later. So Profibus PA removed all the IO modules, remote IO modules, and introduced with a simple bus. Profibus PA, bus, and a segment coupler. So all the IOs are connected to this bus, and there is a segment coupler, and then all the Profibus DP is connecting with the CPU. And Profinet is nothing but your Ethernet switch, and it is coming with your green color jacket, and you can connect this to your RJ45. Okay.
Sir, I do have a pic so that I can share it with you so that could you please help me out? That is this a Profibus? Like I do have a live pic of my.
Okay, simple. Share. Send me in WhatsApp. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just sending it so that. Yesterday I was going through my panel, preventive maintenance of the panel, so I clicked this pic. So is this communication is of this two red and that connected over top of the module, that card module, which since this is Profibus, not Profibus, it's Profinet.
This project. No, nothing is visible here actually,
Okay.
because all the cables, these are simple your simple wires from field. Okay, inputs and output wires that is visible, and nothing else is visible here.
Um,
That's
I'll
five,
I'll
four,
get a
three,
pic.
four.
I'll get a pic by tomorrow so that I'll.
Okay, sure. Anyways, we have understood at least what is Profibus, what is Profinet, is that it? So some common and standard protocols used in automation worldwide are nothing but your Profinet, Profibus that we have studied today. And another one is your Modbus, then ASI, hard communication, foundation field bus, your CAN, device net, control net, etc. And there are, frankly speaking, there are multiple number of protocols are being used. Okay, so mainly what we see in our field in general, that is your Profibus, Profinet, or your Modbus, or your device net and control net. Device net, control net, you will be seeing in case of your Alan Bradley part, and Profinet, Profibus is mainly with your Siemens. Okay, and Modbus is much widely acceptable protocols even, and each and every protocols are different from each other. Okay. Now regarding your heart and field bus, foundation field bus, these are basically used to communicate with the field instruments like smart instruments, you can say. So these are the smart instruments that mainly HART protocol is used to communicate or calibrate online calibration for the transmitters and so. And it is bidirectional something likewise means online you can calibrate any transmitter.
Highway addressable, some
Yes.
remote transducer, I guess.
HART protocol is mainly used during your installation and commissioning time. Mainly it can is used. Otherwise, not required as much. And if the field area is vast, because see, when we use HART means the facility with the HART communicator is that you can change the span range of a device online. But people say that okay, I have calibrated the transmitter with the HART, but I do not believe or much satisfied with this, because see, when we are changing through the range, or we are saying that I am calibrating a transmitter with the HART, then we are just calibrating, or we are just selecting the range and span through means we are working on the electronic part. I am not, until and unless I am not giving some standard input signal to the sensor, Getting my point? Until and unless I am not giving some standard input signal to the sensor and then I am calibrating it, it is, I think it is a bit half done. But for normal transmitters, which are brand new transmitters or so, and if you are just want to change the range or span or calibrate it in that manner, it is okay with the heart, not an issue. Otherwise, what I believe is that you using some kind of say portable calibrator or so, this is the best one to calibrate that instruments. And so we have seen that Profinet is what it is, your Ethernet compatible protocol, and maximum 256 number of devices can be connected with your Profinet. Maximum speed is 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps and even higher. Faster and more bandwidth, large cat and higher. सभी का faster है. It is not that when we say this is slow and this is fast, it is not such that it is slow enough. For every your 100 Mbps and 1 Gbps, it is doesn't matter for us for normal applications, isn't that it? So for our industrial applications, industrial automation purpose, it doesn't matter that much, I think. So can communicate with multiple industrial devices, definitely suitable for fast motion control. Yes, when we say fast motion controls, then your bandwidth, or when you are using large number of data, large number of IOs, then okay, bandwidth and so might hamper somehow. Otherwise, I do not think today everything is fast and precise. So seamless redundancy for critical applications. Seamless redundancy means what? In case of your Profinet, you are using an Ethernet switch and you are able to connect multiple controllers. So it is giving you the seamless redundancy, isn't it? So flexible topologies, open standard, everything is okay. So if I differentiate between your Profibus and Profinet, then what I can see here, that Profibus is using RS485 cable, Profinet is using your Ethernet. Profibus is 12 Mbps speed or so, and Profinet 100 Mbps, and address space is 127, means you can maximum number of devices that can be connected with the Profibus network is 127, and in case of Profinet it is 257, or even you can say unlimited. Now you see 128 devices, who is going to connect, isn't it? Hardly you will be connecting 4 PLCs, 5 PLCs, 10 PLCs maximum, I think. So Profibus and Profinet is very much clear to us. Decentralized peripheral, I have covered these things. Now regarding your Modbus, Modbus was developed by your Modicon. Like your Profibus and Profinet was developed by your Profibus and Profinet International. Okay, and this was your Modbus was developed by Modicon, and Modicon is now a part of your Schneider Electric. So this is also open serial protocol, and it is using your RS232 or 485 cable, and it is based on your master slave architecture, and reliable, all are reliable, no doubt. One master, maximum 247 slaves can be connected. 9600 baud rate. And there are also variants like Modbus RTU, Modbus ASCII, and another one was there. So RTU is most commonly used. So there are other protocols too. ControlNet, DeviceNet will be doing next class. Okay. So for today, this much was from my side. If you people have any queries or questions, you can ask.
Sir, these are the serial communication.
Yes.
Profibus, Profinet,
Yes, serial
or Modbus, like this serial communication.
Or everything is serial.
पैरेलल कम्युनिकेशन कुछ है सर?
पैरेलल कम्युनिकेशन कहाँ पे यूज करते हो? जैसे आप आपका जो मॉनिटर को खोलो तब देखना, आपका जब पास प्लेट देखोगे ना, ऐसा मोटा वाला एक स्ट्रिप लगा के जो कनेक्शन
हाँ
करते हैं,
हाँ
दैट इज बेसिकली योर पैरेलल कम्युनिकेशन। ठीक है, जैसे मॉनिटर के साथ हो रहा है वो पैरेलल कम्युनिकेशन।
हाँ, इन द टेक्नोलॉजी में कुछ ऐसा है पैरेलल,
नहीं,
जैसे
सीरियल सीरियल कम्युनिकेशन। क्योंकि क्या होता है, see, when we use parallel communication, then there are chances of data loss. How? Multiple data are coming at the same instance. If they are, if suppose you have क्या होता है, suppose you are sending some data, okay, so say data packet 1, these are goes in packets, is not it? So say this is 1, this is your second byte, this is your third byte. 1 byte means 8 bits, so there will be 8 numbers, 0 1 1 0 0 0 1, this, then another, and each byte is carrying some informations. Okay, now when it is serial, then once this byte has been received by your receiver, after that the second byte is fetching. Okay, one by one it is going. This is why we call it serial communication. So it is much more reliable. Now when I am sending parallel through parallel transmission, that means I am using a bus having multiple number of cables which are carrying each byte. So suppose you want to send this 1 2 3 in that particular sequence, and one byte is here, second byte is here, third byte is here, and your third byte is reaching just before your first byte. Then what will happen? You will not get the proper information. Suppose you are writing, say, automation, auto, and your U is received earlier, then your A is received, then O received, then T, then how you will be finding that what you are sending. When I am writing AUTO, that means A should be come first, then your U should go, then your T should go, then your O should go. Then only your processor will be able to identify, okay, this is A, this is U, this is T, this is O, and it means your auto. Okay. So when it is regarding your display or so videos, then multiple data, multiple number of data, large number of data should be given. That is why when sometimes when your during your rainy season, or if your speed is not good, internet connection is not good, we say na that okay sir, I am facing the network issue, network problem, and at that time if somebody is talking, and how we hear the voice, tang tung tang, so it is not exactly converted in the actual format. The receiver is not receiving in sequence. That is why the sound that is making is not understood. It is not something meaningful sound. Or sometimes you see, you are watching your TV, and then if rain falls, and you are getting the picture distorted. Happens now. So this is due to the parallel communication, and all the data are not received sequentially. Got it?
Sir, if this much of drawbacks are there for the parallel communication, why there was a need of this invention like parallel communication? Like why?
Because when you are transmitting a picture or your video, suppose, when you are transmitting pictures or videos or suppose voice, when you are seeing me right now and I am just simple, you understand, just the motion of this hand, how many informations have been sent at that particular instance, how much large number of data, each and every coordinate, each and every pixel, each and every point is a data, is that it? So the vast data, if you start transmitting serially, it is not going to give you the, there will be some lagging even. So when this kind of visual or audio visual things we have to fetch, it is fetched through your parallel communication. But when you are collecting your data from your transmitters, from signals from your instruments, so one data is coming at a time from one device. At a time means it is, say, it is in microsecond, but still it is one data is coming. But in our case, when we are fetching one video or say fetching your one picture, then there are millions of data is transferred within that particular microsecond. Then you need this kind of parallel communication. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys. So
सर
yeah.
सर मेन एक मेन डिफरेंस क्या है प्रोफी बस एंड प्रोफी नेट में, मेन एक सॉरी प्रोफी प्रोफी बस एंड मोड बस में?
प्रोफिट और मॉड बस में मेन डिसएडवांटेज अगर देखेंगे तो डिसएडवांटेज नहीं कह सकते हो,
मेन डिफरेंस,
दोनों डिफरेंस,
मेन डिफरेंस
प्रोटोकॉल्स अलग है, उनका जो कनेक्टर है वो अलग है, अदरवाइज और क्या है, प्रोटोकॉल्स दोनों ही 9600 बॉड रेट पे ट्रांसफर कर रहा है डाटा, कोई ये यूज कर रहा है, सपोज I am using this Samsung mobile phone, somebody is using iPhone or Mac, okay, so if you are using your iPhone and if this is your Android, which one is better, which one is not? So both are communicating, both are transferring data, both are okay. Now your Android device is not compatible with your iOS, is not it? So
yes sir.
So you this, but your Apple or Mac is better in terms of your security level. Okay, so there are differences, but you cannot say this one is very good and this one is very bad. I think all are good, but different companies are using different protocols. Okay.
Okay sir, thank you.
So देखो और कुछ होगा तो बताओ, है ना? और next day I will try to cover this your deviceness control net and other protocols in details. Okay. Okay. So for today I will take your leave.
सर ऑप्टोकपलर क्या है?
Optocoupler means optically coupled. That means
मतलब ये है कि उसमें जो लाइट से जो है आपको ट्रांसमिट होगा, जैसे बीच में कुछ आपका अगर कुछ शॉक वगैरह का, पावर शॉक का प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता, इसके बचने के लिए ऑप्टोकपलर यूज करते हैं, इससे लाइट से ट्रांसफर होता है.
Optocoupler is mainly used for your in your PLCs for barrier, okay, or you can say protection.
Yeah, protection.
For protection purpose. Likewise, suppose your this thing is coming, any charge is coming from your field or so. Then
yes sir, shock कुछ भी आएगा वो प्रोटेक्ट करेगा.
You can use either fuse as protection or optocoupler. So optocoupler is completely isolating both the two circuits, the PLC internals and the field, completely isolating the two circuits and connecting optically. Okay, so there will be LEDs, light emitting diodes. Okay, so then those will be interfacing the two. Instead of using fuse, suppose you are using fuse as your protective device, then if a large charge is coming, then fuse भी जाएगा तुम्हारे साथ में, card भी जाएगा, CPU तक चला जाएगा. Sometimes, is not it? But if you are using optocoupler, then there is no chance because it is optically isolated.
तो इसमें क्या कम्युनिकेशन ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं, तो कम्युनिकेशन केबल की तरफ से लगा सकते हैं क्या इसको, डाटा ट्रांसफर भी कर सकते हैं इसमें?
सपोज इस टाइप का डायोड होगा and this will the light, ये हमने पढ़ा था ना कुछ light triggering diodes. Light triggering means the trigger will be through light.
थ्रू लाइट रहेगा सर, जिससे क्या है कि कुछ भी सर्च वगैरह आएगा उससे बचने के लिए हम लोग ऑप्टो कपलर यूज करते हैं. ज्यादातर पीएलसी वगैरह में यूज होता है आजकल, क्योंकि अगर कुछ ज्यादा मतलब ओवरलोड हो गया करंट का या सर्ज आ गया, कुछ आ गया, उससे उससे प्रोटेक्शन के लिए ऑप्टो कपलर यूज करते हैं, जो जिसमें एक तरफ जो रहता है आपका ट्रांसमिटिंग, एक तरफ होता है रिसीविंग एंड रहता है, जिसमें वो लाइट इमिटेड डायोड रहता है जो लाइट जो है इमिट करता है, जिससे वो ट्रांसफर होता है डेटा.
This is your optocoupler. So suppose आपका ये फील्ड से जो कनेक्शन आ रहा है, you are say your 24 volt you are using, no 24 volt DC or something. So this will trigger this optocoupler, this diode, and this will start emitting light based on the incoming voltage, and this light will trigger the internal circuits. This is your PLC internal. This part is your PLC internal. So internal circuit has been isolated from the field through this optocoupler. So suppose you are assuming that okay 24 volt DC will be coming. So somebody is working here, and your this technician by mistake connected some 230 volt here. 230 volt DC. What will happen? This optocoupler will get burned. Okay, this will protect the PLC card at least. It will save the PLC card internals. Isn't that it? So this is why we use optocouplers in case of your PLC as protection, or it is called your barrier.
हमारे वहाँ पे वो लाइटनिंग फॉल हुआ था, तभी ऑप्टोकपलर की वजह से काफी इंस्ट्रूमेंट हमारे बच गए थे.
So otherwise what will happen? If you are using a simple fuse over here, suppose a fuse is there, then when the normal current is coming, okay, the fuse will get burned out and your device may be protected. But if there is a surge, huge surge, जैसे अभी बोला कि lightning, so huge surge means when the fuse will get burned, by that time the surge will transfer to your card internals and all the components, electronic components. These are basically electronic components. There will be some capacitors, there will be fuse, there will be some ICs, diodes, etc. So your card will get burned. Okay.
ओके
चल भाई, आज के लिए इतना.
सर नेक्स्ट क्लास कब होने वाली है?
डे आफ्टर टुमारो.
संडे.
संडे है क्या? डे आफ्टर टुमारो संडे नहीं होगा. संडे मेरा फुल बिजी शेड्यूल है.
संडे को सर पार्टी करने जा रहे हैं.
कौन जा रहा है
सर?
कौन पार्टी करेगा?
आप संडे का छुट्टी है ना?
नहीं होता है, मेरा पूरा दिन बिजी शेड्यूल जाता है. क्या बोल रहा हूँ, सुबह से शाम तक मेरा काम है. संडे का तो और डबल बिजी हो जाता हूँ.
सर छुट्टी कब बनाते सर?
यार छुट्टी नहीं मिला, 2013 से आज तक छुट्टी नहीं लिया। I came every day. I came in the suppose 7:30 or 8 o'clock. I go by 9:30 for the last 7 to 8 years.
लगता है पूरा दुनिया का बर्डन आप ही अपने कंधे में ले लिए सर।
यहाँ पे देखो एक्जेक्टली क्या है, उतना ज्यादा बर्डन नहीं भी लेते तो चलता शायद से, बट यहाँ पे बात ऐसा है कि या तो आपके पास पैसा बहुत ज्यादा हो, है ना, तो आप कर सकते हो, या फिर क्योंकि पैसे होंगे तो मैन पावर होगा। अब मेरे पास मैन पावर तो है नहीं, मैं अकेला करता हूँ। ये जितना सारा चीज देख रहे हैं ना, मैं अकेला आपका इलेक्ट्रिकल का ट्रेनिंग कराता हूँ, मैकेनिकल का कराता हूँ, इंस्ट्रूमेंट का कराता हूँ मैं। और सबसे ज्यादा जो मतलब कष्ट देता है ना मेरे को, प्रॉब्लम देता है, वो होता है कोचिंग वाला पार्ट। जब एग्जाम कोचिंग कराते हैं ना टेक्निकल, इतना भास्ट सिलेबस रहता है। आप सोचो ना यार, इतना मतलब आप 4 सेमेस्टर में जितना, 8 सेमेस्टर में जितना सारा पढ़ते हो, इलेक्ट्रिकल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वो सारा चीज, तो सारा मैं अकेला कराता हूँ। अब आपके पास टाइम कहाँ
सर
बचेगा?
मगर आप तो इंस्ट्रूमेंट से इंजीनियरिंग की है ना सर?
और मैं इलेक्ट्रिकल का कोचिंग कराता हूँ पूरा।
इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स आप इंजीनियरिंग किए हैं,
हाँ हाँ,
तो मैकेनिकल भी कराते हैं सर आप?
मैं वही
मैकेनिकल
सोचने वाला था कि इलेक्ट्रिकल तो एक बार हम समझ सकते हैं कि हाँ मतलब अगर इंस्ट्रूमेंट से है बंदा तो वो इलेक्ट्रिकल साइड समझ सकता है अगर थोड़े एफर्ट्स लेगा तो। पर सीधा मैकेनिकल, सर हम इंस्ट्रूमेंट वाले 24 वोल्ट डीसी चलाते हैं, हमको इलेक्ट्रॉनिक समझ में आता है, वो मैकेनिकल वालों को हथौड़ा और पकड़ के अलावा कुछ पता ही नहीं चलता है।
मैकेनिकल का मेरा काम देखेगा, मैं दिखाता हूँ मैकेनिकल वालों के लिए जो रखा है।
नहीं इलेक्ट्रिकल बंदा मैकेनिकल भी काम कर सकता है, ऐसा कुछ नॉलेज ये नहीं है, आराम से काम कर सकता
मैं दिखाता हूँ, मेरा टाइम कहाँ जाता है मेनली ये सब बनाने में जाता है, यही सब तैयार करने में, क्योंकि ये दूसरा कोई नहीं कर पाएगा। आई हैव टू डू बाय माय ओन। ये सारा चीज जो होता है ये कौन करेगा मुझे नहीं पता, किसी को बोलने से भी नहीं कर पाएगा, अगर जानता है तभी करेगा, है ना। सो
जान
दिस, ये जो आपका बॉयलर का बना है, तो बॉयलर जब सिखाएंगे, ऐसे बोलने से तो बंदे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, तो मैं उसको ऐसा करता हूँ कि उसको दिखाता हूँ, ये देख ऐसा ही है। क्या करें, मेरे पास तो बॉयलर तो यहाँ पे लेके नहीं आ सकता ना, तो मेरे दिमाग में मैं वही डाल देता हूँ कि उसका इंटरनल, फिर उसको देखना है कि भाई सर ये फर्नेस के अंदर कैसा दिखता होगा, है ना। तो फर्नेस के अंदर उसको दिखना है, उसको पूरा का पूरा लाइन डायग्राम समझना है, कहाँ कहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, ये सारा ये तो हर एक चीज का ये है मेरे पास। और यही सारा चीज मैं बनाया हूँ आज पिछले 8-10 साल से, 8 साल से। Each
सर
and everything
ये
है।
यानी ये आपका इसमें है सर, पावर पॉइंट में है?
जी, हम हर एक चीज पावर पॉइंट में करते हैं।
सर तो हम लोग को मिलेगा सर ये वाला थोड़ा?
ये स्लाइड्स,
ये थोड़ा सा मिल जाता तो अच्छा रहता, हम लोग को समझने में इजी रहेगा।
सारा हम वीडियो बना के दे सकते हैं, सारा वीडियो कोर्स दे सकते हैं, लेकिन स्लाइड नहीं दे सकते, क्योंकि ये सब एक एक स्लाइड में ना इतना मेहनत है कि मेरा आधा जिंदगी खत्म हो गया, बाल झड़ गया, नहीं दिख रहा है, बुढ़ा हो गया। और उसके ऊपर से क्या हुआ है, अभी तो यहाँ पे बैठते बैठते तो कमर तो चला गया है, सबसे बड़ा चीज स्पॉन्डिलाइटिस हो गया है, चल नहीं पाते। तो
सर
यही सारे
ये देखते हैं कि मेरे को एक क्वेश्चन ये हो रहा है सर कि क्या हमारे जैसे जस्ट पूछो कि जॉब जिम में जिस तरीके से पावर पॉइंट में आपने इतना इतना हैंड्स होके आपने इतना सही ये बनाया है, क्या ये वो हम सीख पाएंगे? मतलब इतना डिफिकल्ट चीज पावर पॉइंट में
हाँ,
बनाना प्रेजेंटेशन में।
तो तुम थोड़े ना प्रेजेंटेशन बनाएगा, ये सब प्रेजेंटेशन क्या है बनाना है, उसके लिए मैं अलग से फीस दूंगा। तुमको हम सिखाएंगे, इंडस्ट्री सिखाएंगे, इंडस्ट्रियल। हाँ, अगर सीखना है पावर पॉइंट में ऐसा स्लाइड्स बनाना और एनिमेशंस बनाना, ये सब सीखना है, तो उसका अलग से फीस दूंगा, ठीक है।
अरे सर बिंदास सर, बिंदास सर।
एंड सी आई फ्रेंकली, आप लोग सही सही मेरे को एक फीडबैक दो कि जो मैं सिखाता हूँ, इतना एफर्ट देके मैं सिखाता हूँ, और जिस लेवल पे मैं चीजों को लाने की कोशिश करता हूँ और चीजों को एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, उसके हिसाब से जो मैं फीस रखा हूँ यार। एक प्राइमरी स्कूल में अगर आप जाते हो, केजी नर्सरी का अगर आपके बच्चे को ट्यूशन भी पढ़ाते हो ना, तो वो बंदा आपका
अरे इसको रखिए ना।
मंथली 5-6,000 डिमांड कर लेता है ना। एंड आई व्हाट आई थिंक भाई फीस ऐसा हो कि सब अफोर्ड कर सके, सब लोग ले सके चीजों को। अगर मेरे पास पैसा होता कि अंबानी जैसा पैसा होता तो फिर शायद से मैं एजुकेशन का पैसा भी नहीं देता, बट इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल क्योंकि आई हैव टू सर्वाइव बाय दिस कोर्स ओनली।
मुझे आपने ये बात बताया था सर कि जितना नॉलेज आप इम्पार्ट करना चाहते हो, स्टार्टिंग में आपने बोला था कि ये करना आपका डेडिकेशन है, पर एट द एंड सर्वाइवल भी तो करना है। तो इसलिए आपका जो आपका वो जो चार्जेस है कंपैरेटिवली जितना आप नॉलेज देते हो उसके हिसाब से बहुत मतलब
मैं कोशिश यही करता हूँ कि मैं 100% जो भी है उसको, जो भी मेरे पास आए वो मेरे से कुछ सीख के जाए, पूरा का पूरा नॉलेज उसको मिले, वो जाके काम कर सके, कुछ तो काम में आए उसका, है ना। और बेसिकली देखो मैंने ये सारा प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए डिजाइन किया नहीं था, दो एवरीथिंग इज प्रोफेशनल्स। मैंने ये डिजाइन किया था जो फ्रेश लड़के हैं जो इंजीनियरिंग करके भटक रहे हैं, कुछ काम नहीं सीख पा रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्री में उनको जगह नहीं मिल रहा है, या फिर जो प्रोफेशनल है जिनको ये मिल रहा है। इसीलिए मैंने इसको उस हाई एंड पे लेके जाने का मैंने कभी सोचा ही नहीं, क्योंकि जो हाई एंड पे करेगा ना, सपोज मैं आज आपको अगर TIA पोर्टल का या फिर सीमेंस का अगर एक्सपर्ट लेवल का कोचिंग ये करता हूँ, ट्रेन करता हूँ, तो उसमें क्या होता है कि वो बंदा ऑलरेडी ऑटोमेशन इंजीनियर है, उसको और एनहेंसमेंट चाहिए, वो वहां पे बैठा हुआ है, वो कर सकता है। और वो उसको कराने के लिए सीमेंस खुद बैठा हुआ है, एलन ब्रेडली बैठा हुआ है, कोई ना कोई बैठा हुआ है, बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हुए हैं। जहाँ पे दिक्कत है वो एरिया है हमारा इनिशियल एंट्री लेवल पे। जो बच्चे कॉलेज से निकल रहे हैं, जो बच्चे इनिशियल फील्ड में घूम रहे हैं, 1 साल 2 साल, हर कोई यहाँ पे फील्ड में घुमा हुआ है, तो पहला लेवल पे जब आप घूमते हो जाके 1 साल 2 साल 1.5 साल आप घूमते हो और आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, और आपको आप कहीं पे भी जाओ, आप जब ट्रेनिंग भी लेते हो कहीं पे, तब भी वहां पे जाने से भी ना इस टाइप का होता है। मैंने खुद देखा है अपनी जिंदगी में कि ट्रेनिंग तो लेते हैं लोग, लेकिन जो जिस लेवल पे बेसिक लेवल पे समझना चाहिए था चीजों का, उस लेवल पे कोई समझाता नहीं। अभी मैं आपको यही PLC का अगर सिर्फ कैसे कॉन्फ़िगर करना है, चलो ठीक है इसको सेट कर दो, उसको सेट कर दो, यहाँ पे ये डाल दो और 2-4 क्या कहते हैं इसको एक्सरसाइज करा देता, तो आपको वो चीज वो डेप्थ नहीं मिलता, ताकि आप खुद से अभी अगर आप नेक्स्ट कोर्स नहीं भी करते हो तो आप खुद से गूगल के थ्रू या फिर मैनुअल पढ़ के आप खुद सारा चीज समझ सकते हो, उस लेवल पे आप आ चुके है कि नहीं। तो मेरा कोशिश वही रहता है कि भाई सब कुछ दे, बट जब मैंने शुरू किया था ना ये ऑन्टोजेनेसिस ऑटोमेशन, मैं दिल्ली से यहाँ पे आसाम में आया अपने यहाँ पे और शुरू किया था, ठीक है। एट दैट टाइम मेरा भी नॉलेज लेवल ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं सब कुछ जानता था, और ये सब जो PPTs है, वीडियो है, ये तो मेनली मैं बोलूँगा PPTs तो पहले ही बनाया था, क्योंकि व्हाइट बोर्ड में बैठ के सारा चीज एक्सप्लेन करना और सारा चीजों को सिखाना ये बहुत ही टफ जॉब था मेरे लिए। और मैं ऐसा कर देता था कि जब बंदा बैठा हुआ है मेरे पास, वो एकदम फ्रेश लड़का है ना, वो जाके फील्ड में ऐसा होता है कि उसको हर एक चीज ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं ये सब तो मैं जानता हूँ, वो सब हर एक चीज फेमिलियर रहता है। मैं आपको लोगों को स्टोरी बताऊं कि फर्स्ट बैच का लड़का था, और फर्स्ट में मेरा भी पहला बैच था और 3 ही लड़के थे। मैंने उन लोगों को ट्रेन किया पावर प्लांट में, फिर उनको विजिट पे लेके गया फील्ड पे और कंट्रोल रूम में घुसे। विदिन 5 मिनट्स वो बंदा आके मेरे कान में ऐसे कुछ बोल रहा है कि सर ऐसा ऐसा है। तो जो शिफ्ट इंचार्ज था ना, वो शिफ्ट इंचार्ज मेरा दोस्त भी था, तो बोल रहा है कि क्या बोल रहा है, तो बोल रहा है कि तुम्हारा ये फ्लू गैस का टेम्परेचर दिखा रहा है ना, वो खराब है। तो है इसको कैसे पता चला। अब सोचो कि 5 मिनट हुआ है उसको कंट्रोल रूम के अंदर जाके। इन जनरल एक फ्रेश इंजीनियर जाए, फ्रेश छोड़ दो ना, 1 साल 2 साल जो फील्ड में घूम रहा है आज के डेट पे, 80% लड़का ऐसा एक ले लो और उसको छोड़ दो कंट्रोल रूम पे, वो जाके कंप्यूटर देखेगा, वो जाके ग्राफिक्स देखेगा, अच्छा ये स्काडा है क्या है। और ये बंदा यहाँ पे खड़ा हुआ 5 मिनट उसने पेज को देखा, उसने स्टडी किया सारे पैरामीटर्स जो आप लोगों को दिया है ना, जो पावर प्लांट का जो दिया है वही पेज उसने देखा, और वहां पे उसने फॉल्ट पकड़ लिया कि सर ये वाला ट्रांसमीटर काम नहीं कर रहा है, वो पैरामीटर गलत दिखा रहा है। तो इस लेवल पे लेके जाता हूँ, और वो भी व्हाइट बोर्ड पे। और फिर धीरे धीरे मैंने देखा नहीं यार, एक एक चीज को इतना बार रिपीट करना पड़ता है, इतना बार रिपीट करना पड़ता है, उसके बाद जाके वो इमेज जो मैं चाहता हूँ, जो लोगों के मन में क्रिएट हो, वो होता है। एक बार बोलने से नहीं होता है ना, जब रिपीटेडली बोलते 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 अगर तो 10 बार 15 बार 15 क्लास में एक ही चीज डिस्कस किए, बार बार घुमा फिरा के डिस्कस किए, सवाल किए, तब जाके वो इमेज फॉर्म होता है, तब जाके लगता है कि नहीं ये सीख गया है। तो इतना मेहनत होता है जॉब चेंज में, समझ रहे हो। चलो आज के लिए इतना, ठीक है प्रदीप, थैंक यू थैंक यू।
सर ये स्माइल देख रहे हो, ये आज का वो आपने वो क्लास में ज्वाइन करा है ना, उसकी वजह से पूरे टाइम आज मैं अपना ऑफिस में बस मैं ऑडिट दे रहा था, हमारे जीएम आए थे ऑडिट लेने के लिए, स्टिल मैं पूरे टाइम ये नो आज 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 क्लास है, आज क्लास है, आज क्लास है, पेन पेपर नोटबुक सब तैयार करके बैठा था।
कुछ फायदा हुआ?
अरे बहुत, मतलब ऑल ऑफ सडन बीच में से मैं आया हूँ, बट स्टिल प्रोफीनेट प्रोफीबस मोड बस एटलीस्ट मेरे को ये नहीं पता चला कि हाँ ये ऐसा ऐसा इसके पीछे ये ऑफर, ये पता चल गया हाँ कम्युनिकेशन प्रोटोकॉल, और ये एक टाइप का प्रोटोकॉल है और इसके ये फीचर्स है, ये एक प्रोफीनेट है, ये भी एक कम्युनिकेशन प्रोटोकॉल है, उसके अंदर ये फीचर्स है, इसको कहाँ अप्लाई करना है ये भले अच्छे से पता ना चला हो, पर उसके बारे में पता चल गया।
वो जानना भी नहीं है। तुम जब भी डिवाइस खरीदेगा ना, जाके पीएलसी खरीदेगा, वो मैन्युफैक्चरर बना के देगा, या तो प्रोफीनेट देगा या प्रोफीबास देगा या फिर दोनों देगा। तुमको जस्ट उसको देख के ये समझना है कि इसमें कौन सा लगाना है। ऐसा नहीं हो, ऐसा नहीं हो कि हाँ ये मेरे हाथ में ये वाला पीएलसी है और मेरे को पता ही नहीं है कि कौन सा कनेक्टर में कनेक्ट करूँ, है ना।
आज ही मुझे ये समझ में आया कि पीएलसी में भी इस तरीके के अलग अलग, मतलब मेरे को लगता था कि पीएलसी है उसमें एक स्टैंडर्ड प्रोटोकॉल होता है, मतलब एक स्टैंडर्ड कनेक्टर होता है, सब वही कनेक्ट करते हैं। आज आपने मेरे को बोला कि जैसे फोन में यूएसबी होता है, फोन में सी टाइप होता है, फोन में एंड्रॉइड होता है, वैसे पीएलसी में भी इतने सारे कनेक्टर्स आते हैं।
सब ब्रांड का अलग अलग होता है। इनिशियल दौर पे, शुरुआती दौर पे ये सारे प्रोप्राइटरी टाइप थे। प्रोप्राइटरी टाइप का मतलब समझते हो, मानो एलन ब्रेडली का केबल सिर्फ एलन ब्रेडली ही यूज करेगा और एलन ब्रेडली का पीएलसी किसी दूसरे से कम्युनिकेट नहीं करेगा। लेकिन अभी क्या है कि ओपन सिस्टम है, ओपन सिस्टम होने से ये मॉडबस आया, प्रोफीबस आया, प्रोफीनेट आया, तो क्या हुआ कि हम अभी मल्टीपल वेंडर का या फिर मैन्युफैक्चरर का पीएलसी कम्युनिकेशन कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, चलो यार बहुत बकबक हुआ आज का, बाय बाय,
गुड नाइट सर।
गुड नाइट।